Upon a time there was a magic island. People,
Good morning, class. This morning I'm
let
going
me
to talk to
tell
you a
you
little
a
bit about
story
Tobago.
of their pain and their
I'm going to give you a brief. Tobago was originally inhabited by
many rivers
American Indians or Amerindians, as you may say, and Europeans came after and they were mainly involved in plantation agriculture, utilizing imported slaves for the lucrative trade. Today, the island's heritage remains predominantly African, but is flavored by influences of Amerindian and European cultures. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of the festival. Tobago Heritage was first staged in 1987, and it spans a 2-week period from mid-July to the beginning of August each year. And during this time, Tobagonians gather and they celebrate their ancestors. Now, there are many events that take place in Tobago Heritage Festival, such as the Orisha Wedding, the Heritage Village, Wake and Bango Night, and I'm going to give you all a brief history of what that is about. Firstly, we have the Orisha Wedding. This is a traditional Yoruba wedding ceremony that takes place, and the rituals of an African wedding experience are enacted. We have a young Yoruba couple that celebrates. You guys are supposed to know what marriage is. You know, when two become one and they become married. And guests are encouraged to dress in their African gowns and their African wear to keep in the spirit of the tradition. And secondly, we have the Heritage Village. And you know, as I say, right, at the Bloody Bay River, right, washer women can be seen doing their laundry there. And you know, at the landscape for me, you tend to see aspects of Tobago's traditional village life and cuisine, including harvesting techniques practiced long ago, as well as the use of the batting mill and other innovative homemade tools. And the Grand Harvest celebration pays special tribute to farmers, so you know they have cooking, it's just really a wide variety. And the main title of that event is really the living traditions of the past. Then we have the Festival of Dance, and this event usually takes place in Patience Hill, and there's a dramatic production that takes place there, which presents various exciting and indigenous local dances. And this is one of the most well-attended and appreciated events of the festival, as you will see colorful costume and rhythmic energies of the dancers, and they really perform and, show the crowd and visitors and what the Tobago Heritage Festival and the Patience Hill Festival of Dance is all about. And then we have the Wake and Bango Night. This usually takes place in Rim Village in Tobago. The Wake and Bango Night is usually a long time tradition, as we were saying, quotation, keeping awake at the home of the deceased family. Alright, and then we have Natural Heritage Day. And this Natural Heritage Day usually takes place in Speyside. But I want you to notice that the festival is widespread throughout Tobago. So you will have, as we said before, in Patience Hill, Speyside, Castara. You're going to have the festival throughout Tobago. And the day's activities usually start around 10 a.m. in the morning, where there are tours to Lucy's Vale, Waterwheel, and Crawford Village, and to the Speyside River. At midday tours, they actually go to Little Tobago. And at the evening, they have a cultural presentation of dance, music, and drama at the village's recreation grounds. If you notice as well, a lot of the events, they entail music, dance, drama, music, dance, and drama. So, as performing artists, we tend to notice that, and, it's good to continue practicing our local art so that we can teach our kids and our children to have an appreciation to the arts. And then another event there is the Yaba, which means one pot dish, and from Delaford. And it takes its name from a very well-known culinary creation of Delaford Village. Delightful one pot dish containing many different local vegetables and meats. And then we have Belmana Riots, which is out of Africa, the legacy, which takes place in Roxborough. And the Roxborough village reenacts the Belmana Riots. And in the immediate post-emancipation era, a group of freed slaves that came to Barbados, then came to Tobago to settle and work on the Roxborough estate. The entrenchment system of plantocracy dictated that a rigid socio-economic order to be maintained, and laborers were subjected to similar conditions that existed prior to emancipation. And on January 7th, 1876, migrant workers on the Roxborough estate demonstrated oppressive conditions imposed on them by the planters, and the reenactment of Belmana Riot serves to remind us of the hardship that Tobago ancestors were forced to endure and ultimately to overcome. And after the performance, the audience is able to sample mouth-watering dishes on display, and they have ranging from corn to cassava, cuckoo to spicy stews and baked treats, and we love the calorie, right? And then following we have the courtship foods, and as rich in its folklore and tradition, this takes place in Golden Lane Village. And this village actually, it gives you an excellent portrayal of the traditional methods that a father used in order to determine the suitability of marriage partners for his daughters as they existed in the past. And a young man first needed the approval of his own parents for his choice of a mate, and then once this is obtained, his parents will prepare a gift of ground, provisions, and small livestock, then journey to the prospective bride's home along with the young man. The suitor's father must then present the jewelry on behalf of his son, emphasizing that his son's ability to provide for the wife, as demonstrated by the gifts delivered. And then, they accept the gift, and then they will discuss on marriage. Then we have the old-time wedding, right? A grand style traditional old-time wedding. And this old-time wedding follows the courtship codes and features the wedding along with the after-ceremony festivities, and strongly reflective are the European influences on the culture of Tobago. Then dashing gentlemen are dressed in black and white, formal three-piece suits including top hats, bow ties, white gloves, and carrying huge umbrellas to shade their female partners. The women, which are not outdone, are gaily adorned with 18th and 19th century bustle dresses, platform shoes, wide-brimmed hats decorated with flowers, and fascinators with white gloves. There are also heavily jeweled guests lined up alongside their partners ready to walk the wedding. And after the village church ceremony, the wedding procession winds its way along the streets and dancing the brush back to the sweet sounds of tambourine and fiddle. The procession then stops along the way to enjoy offerings of cake and wine before moving on to the reception wedding. And then we have folk fiesta. Now, traditional speech bands characters are a favorite among patrons. The folk fiesta is a family event where they will gather together and enjoy exciting activities that commence, let's say, mid-afternoon at Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive School, which is in Signal Hill, obviously. And there are competitions in all the cultural and performing arts, and also competitions for audience participation. Categories include dramology, speech band, samba music, folk singing, religious singing, traditional Tobago dance. You have the traditional dance as such as Tobago jig, the African dance, pan solo, folk story telling, and we also have poetry. Then we have the wake up call, and it's the traditions of the sea is the focus of Black Rock's village in its wake up call. And activities actually start at dawn when the conch shell right? The conch shell is with the right? And actually is accompanied by chanting and singing, and it's throughout the entire village.
Drinks in the air, so the place done wet. All of the strums, everything done set. The sun not out, so we can't done yet. We can't done yet. They say
another example of community cooperation. All hands
will be calling out my name. Some paper and second, but in the hearts of number one. The people's champion, the people's champion. Some people get AI, no bench is there. All hands in the AI. All drinks in the sky, cause the fans them love me. And to show that love for the summer. The people call it Benjamin. So the one that you not get. People call it Benjamin. So the one that you not get. Everybody don't know it, we just don't know it. We back don't know it. We out time friends, we built in ways, and we can't done yet. We can't done yet, no, we can't done yet. The face done wet, we drip and sweat. The drinks in the air, so the place done wet. All our next strums, everything done set. The sun not out, so we can't done yet. We can't done yet. They say, enjoy just don't have enough. I tell them that I only do this out of love. Cause I love my country bad. I represent for the soca hard. Every year for the carnival. Enjoy on the scene when people throwing parties, so they don't have to study. Well, who is that somebody to come and back it up? Everybody know that it is my duty, and you just have to call me. And we go back up the place, we get people have to say, the people call me Benjamin. So the one that you negate. So the people call me Benjamin. So the one that you negate. Look, everybody done it, we just done it. We back done it, we out of it. I built in ways and we can't done yet. We can't done yet, no, we can't done yet. The face done it, we drip and sweat. The drinks in the air, so the place done wet. All our next drums, everything done set. The sun not out, so we can't done yet.
Several facets of Tobago lifestyle, from love to travel to people chores, and actually women was able to tie their husband on the bed using supernatural power.
Everybody done
So, all the ladies out there, all the men know something about to call your husband or something, right? And actually, we have now the heritage personality. And heritage personality is, we have the Miss Heritage, and it involves actually 8 beautiful young ladies from various villages depicting different aspects of Tobago's heritage, and they also compete in a talent presentation. And actually, it's just much more than a beauty pageant, right? And this event actually helps to brings to the spotlight the contributions that Tobago women have made in their community. And the heritage personality contest is open to all women between the ages of 17 and 99 years old, once you live that long, And contestants must then portray an aspect of Tobago's African heritage in their costuming, as well as demonstrate their talent in a local art form, be it dance, song, or speech. And this entertaining occasion seeks to emphasize that women who beauty, talent, and industriousness complement each other. Then we have the Calypso final, right? And the Heritage Calypso Mona allows 8 challengers to match with and skill against the previous year's reigning Calypso monarch. And then we have Calypsonians perform calypsos of heritage origin along with other indigenous song of choice. Then we have the most exciting crab and goat race, the Buku goat race, Buku village. Names like Be My Hero, Troublemaker, and Sand Goat racing goats begin their hurdles underway on a sunny afternoon at Buku. Right? I've been to this event and it's a very exciting event. And in Tobago, bull racing is serious business. It was introduced in 1925 as an Easter Tuesday activity. This event is actually surrounded by pageantry and pomp, and there are stable owners, trainers, jockeys, and of course speed. And racing goats are very carefully selected and trained, and they must be energetic and long-legged. And the crab race, this competition is themed since only best bred and healthiest looking crabs are all entered in their races. Well, at least right now it's the crab. But here the crab generally large blue are harnessed with a piece of string and then encouraged by much poking and prodding to run towards the finish line. And despite the smaller scale of crab races, the interest and energy of the onlookers is very much in evidence. Then we have one of my favorite things of the Tobago Heritage Festival, which we might call it the Drum Beats On, right? And this takes place in Roxborough Village again. So this is honoring the late Claude Wolf, a fine craftsman and an icon in the performing arts. And then, Roxborough's presentation, the Drum Beats On the struggle of a young man Bongo who, being ignorant of his heritage, struggled to bring the art form to the drum of life. And he was really taunted by his friends and the villagers because, as you say, he was unable to make his drum talk, and unlike the other villagers. And Bongo ultimately he finds a new mentor who guides him along traditional paths and helps him to make his drum talk and playing by first honoring the ancient traditions used in Africa. And every time a drum is made, the ancestors and Africa must be saluted. In this tradition that Bongo brings back, even from the selecting of the tree used to ask its permission to cut it for drum making. And if these traditions are not followed, the drum will be loose. Then the drum in Africa culture holds a specific and significant place. It is used as an instrument of praise and worship and for communication and celebration. And as we know, the drum is mainly used in the spiritual Baptist faith, although I have had experience in playing drums in the spiritual Baptist church and actually in the Pentecostal church and during Catholic Mass. And actually, the drum was the voice of the people, and it has stories to tell of both magical and of ritual significance. And other drums actually used in the festival are the tambourine drum, which is a very percussive instrument and indigenous, and we have the bamboo, and then we have the Sri Lanka Fest, right? And this is in Pembroke Village, which is the festival of the first fruits, and which is actually held in Pembroke. Right? The significance of this piece spans generation and reaches back into the past of the African tribe, which is the Dahomey, Igbo, Congo, and Mandingo. And it is actually a celebration of thanksgiving and blessings given through the intercession of ancestral spirits. And they are acknowledged. And it also represents the harmony and commitment that is necessary in any village or town for peace and progress to occur. And one of the last events, thank God, we have the old time festival. I don't think that a comparison should be made between the old time carnival in Tobago and our carnival here in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, here in Trinidad and Tobago, you see the bikini and yes, but Tobago is actually just, you know, it's just a different vibe, you know, when you go to the wedding. And, you know, I think that after the formal opening day of the festivities, there are bands of masqueraders portraying old-time characters. You know, you have the Black and Blue Devils, Jab Jab, you have the Moko Jummies, the Sailors, the Robbers, and Brokeets, right? So, you know, in summary, Tobago Heritage Festival is one of the greatest festivals that take place between Trinidad and Tobago, since we consider Trinidad and Tobago brother and sister island. And, you know, I think we should continue to have an appreciation for these festivals, whether it be Cambule, Riot, Tobago Heritage, Pagua, Easter, Christmas. We should all have an appreciation because it's our culture, and, you know, we should continue to teach our children about these festivals, you know, so they can live on. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and let me know if you have any questions, okay? Thank you.